I'm sure you've already seen by the title of this video on what happens after you die, right? A lot of you watching this video right now, you ask yourself a lot of questions, right? I assume that you are naturally a curious person, just like me. Like, I am a curious person. I ask myself a lot of things, right? A lot of things, deep things that people, they don't even sit down and ask themselves, and sometimes, man, it feels like I'm losing my mind or something, by the way I sit down and think and observe and research things. So, just like you, like I've asked myself, like, what really happens after death? What really happens after you die? Because, like, people don't tell us the truth. People don't tell us the truth because they also don't know what happens after you die. And they don't know because they are not aware. They are not studying, they are not doing research, they are not observing things, right? They are in this world. But, like, being invested in this topic of death, I found myself, like, going on a journey. And when I say going on a journey, I don't mean like dying or something like that, no. But I found myself, man, like just going on a journey of self-discovery, right? I found myself going on a journey of like diving deep into things, reading certain books, watching certain things, right? I found myself like just thinking, man, like observing, praying for more wisdom, praying for more knowledge. Like, God, like what really happens after you die? Like, I just want to know. That's the only thing that I want to know. I just want to know what really happens after you die. Because even like when you attend funerals, you see like people crying, like wishing that person was still alive. And I had to ask myself, like, God, why does they have to be dead? Because you see that this thing, it breaks our hearts to see our loved ones laying in a coffin, not breathing, knowing that they are not coming back anymore into this world, right? What did we do for us to deserve such a thing? What did we do for you to put us through so much pain? You know that hurts us, right? And it might not hurt the person that's sleeping in the coffin, but it hurts us who are still alive, who are witnessing it, who are in that funeral. It hurts us, right? So I had to sit down and ask God, pray to God, pray for more wisdom, pray for more strength, pray for more, like, things that will help me to figure out, like, what really happens after you die. Like, back in the days, it was not cool for me to um to to admit that I am a nerd, but now, after all these years, I am proud to say that, what, like, I am a nerd. I am a nerd. It's not cool to other people, but so what? Right? I spend most of my time studying. I spend most of my time researching. I spend most of my time reading things that other people, they don't read. So what? I am a nerd. I am a proud nerd. And me being a nerd, it has made me being aware so much, right? I've gained so much knowledge, so much wisdom that sometimes, like, the things that I know, it blows my mind. Like, sometimes I ask myself, like, damn, how do I know this? Why don't a lot of people know this? And this is why sometimes, like, a lot of times I spend a lot of times alone, because I can't have conversations like this with other people, because they'll think that this guy has lost his mind, or this guy, his weight is creepy. Because I like to study weird things. I like to study creepy things that people, they don't even want to touch on. I like to touch on subjects that other people, they don't want to touch on. Right? So this is why I find myself isolated, because I don't have any other person that I can talk, and share these things with, besides this camera. Share these things with like-minded people, right? So what really happens after you die? Right? What really happens after you die? And when I say you, I'm not talking to the physical you. I'm not talking to your body. I'm talking to the soul that's inside of you. Like, what happens to the soul inside of you? Because you have to understand this. Your body is just an instrument for your soul to connect on, right? Without the soul, that body can't move, right? That body can't move. So when you die, your soul, right, just like how it came into your body before you were born, is also going to exit out of your body. When your soul comes out of your body, it enters a state that we call the state of consciousness. And this is the state that you operate in when you're sleeping, when you're dreaming. Now, I want you to understand this very deeply, because this is something that a lot of people, they won't even talk to you about. But yes, this is the state that happens when you are dreaming, right? I want you to sit back and ask yourself this question, like, actually, I was having a conversation with someone else the other day, and they were like, I actually see myself when I'm dreaming. Like, that person was telling me that I actually see myself when I'm dreaming, and I was like, dude, stop lying. You know what I mean? Like, stop lying. You cannot see yourself when you're dreaming. Like, I don't care, man. You can go and ask anyone in this world. No one has ever seen themselves dreaming. No one, literally, no one has ever seen themselves dreaming. No one has ever seen themselves in a dream. And that guy was telling me that he saw himself in a dream, and I was like, dude, how come? Because no one has ever seen themselves in a dream. You can't see yourself in a dream because now you're operating in a state of consciousness, right? Like, when you're in a dream, you don't have a body. Think about this for a moment. When you're in a dream, you don't have a body, you don't have eyes, you don't have ears. But ask yourself this question too. Since you don't have eyes, since you don't have ears, since you don't have a body in a dream, why do you see yourself walking? Why do you find yourself hearing things? Like, you can hear, you can even, like, ask yourself this question. Why do you even talk in a dream but you don't have a mouth? Why do you see in a dream but you don't have eyes at all? Right? Why do you find yourself walking or you floating around in a dream but you don't have a body? And this is what actually happens after you die. Right? You enter in the state of consciousness. You are no longer operating with a physical body. You are now operating through your intuition, because when you're in a dream, your intuition is very high. It's very high. Like, you can be in a place, you already know where you at. Right? You can be having a conversation with people or other people or your lost loved ones. People in your family that died, that are no longer alive. You can have a conversation with them in a dream, but you are not physically seeing them. And that's because you are operating from a place of intuition. Like, you pick up on things. Like, when you have a conversation with someone in a dream, you're like, oh, okay, like, this is my grandmother. You are not seeing them in the dream, but that's how, like, your mind or not dreaming is going to convince you that you're actually talking to your grandmother. But you also, it's your intuition. It's your energy. You pick up on their intuition too. You pick up on their energy too. Like, oh yeah, like, now I'm speaking to my grandmother. And then your mind, right, when you're sleeping, is going to put some pictures in your memory that, oh yeah, this is how your grandmother looked like. And then you're going to operate from the belief that, like, I was actually talking to my grandmother in a dream. But yes, you were talking to your grandmother in a dream, but you didn't see her physically. You didn't see her physically. You only picked up on the intuition, right? And that's how people that have transitioned from this world to the conscious world, that's how they operate on. They no longer have bodies like you and me. They no longer have eyes like you and me. They can no longer hear like you and me. They only operate on intuition, right? Yes, they do, like, float around because they are energy after all. So when they are in a dream, they're operating from a place of awareness. I'm not sure if you understand this. Oh my God. Like, this is deep things. They are operating from a place of awareness. Like, when you are in the state of consciousness, you are fully aware. You are fully aware. Like, have you ever realized this when you're in a dream, right? You don't know that you're in a dream when you're sleeping. But at the same time, on that dream, it's like you know that you are you. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yes, you know that you are you. Yes, you know that you are you, but you cannot see yourself. You cannot see yourself. Right? You can't even see your hands. You can't even see the way you walk. You can't see anything, but you know that you are you. Right? So you are moving around. Like, it's like you're floating around like a camera. You see things. And when you are sleeping, like your dreams are not that vivid, they are not that clear. But when you enter in that state of consciousness, when you die, right, it's going to become clear now. It's going to become more vivid now, right? You're going to be fully aware now, right? And this is something that also, like, when people that have near death experiences at a hospital, like after they are being interviewed, whether it's by the doctors or like they're sharing stories, this is something that they always say, that they've seen the doctor performing injuries on them. Now, like, this is something that's scientifically proven. You can even go on Google and search for this particular thing. But they say that they've seen, right? They've seen, like, literally the doctor performing the surgery on them, but they were outside of their body. Like, this is real. And when you hear things like that, you might think, this person has lost their mind, or this person is no longer thinking well. But this is actually true. This is what happens when you die. Right? It's your soul that comes out of your body and it enters a state of consciousness. Right? So you don't really die. It's the body that dies. And this is what a lot of people, they don't know. This is what a lot of people, they don't understand now. Don't come here on my video and tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm speaking lies, because I'm speaking from my own perspective, based on the things that I've heard, based on the things that I've personally learned, deep knowledge that I've personally had to pick up from the dirt and learn, right? And this is why you even find prophets, traditional healers, like these people, they operate from a state of consciousness. They operate from a state of intuition. They are very, like, it's like they are very intuitive, right? They are very hyper alert. This is why they can look at you. This is why they can look at your life, and they can have conversations with people from the other side of the world. Why? Because they've developed that consciousness. They've developed that awareness. They can look at your life and they can tell you each and every single thing that happened in your life, and they can tell you even what's going to happen in your life. These people, they have that gift. They have that gift. Like, ask yourself, how do these people know these things? How do they know it? Right? It's not a coincidence that they know it. It's not magic. Right? And the thing is, we've never been taught about these things in school, right? Like, no one has ever told these things to us, right? Even in school, they taught us about the 5 senses that we're using in the physical world. But since they are not aware, since they don't have the knowledge of what happens, like, in the spiritual world, in the conscious world, right? They only taught us about the 5 senses that we're using in the physical world. And what are those 5 senses? Like, it's the ears, right? We can hear with the ears, the senses of touch, the senses of smelling, the senses of tasting. Like, these are the senses that they taught us about. Why didn't they tell us about the other senses that are not physical, right? That are not physical, but can be used in the conscious world, can be used in the spiritual world. And what are these senses? I don't know it all, but I know that intuition is one of them. Intuition is one of them. And I'm sure, like, sometimes, like, have you ever asked yourself this, right? Have you ever, like, been in a place or, like, in an environment and something told you, like, to leave that place? Like, that place is not good, it's dangerous. Or have you ever picked up on someone that was actually not good? It's like you couldn't like understand. You couldn't understand it. You couldn't understand why you were feeling some type of a way when you're around a particular person or around a particular place. But there's something in your spirit, like there's something that dropped in your spirit and told you that, yo, like, this is actually not a good person. This is actually not a good place. You need to leave that place. And the moment you left the place, you find that, oh, like, there was a gun shooting at a place, or like something terrible happened at a place, or you find out that person was like was planning something harmful on you. You know what I mean? Like, that's your intuition. And in the state of consciousness, this is what we are going to use. I don't know if I'm wrong or I'm right, but I truly believe that this is what we are going to use. We are going to use intuition in the state of consciousness, in the spiritual world. This is what we are going to use. We are no longer going to use our brains to think. We are no longer going to use our body. We are no longer going to eat or sleep. We are not even going to get tired. Right? Because think about it like this. We get tired because we use our bodies more often. So it triggers, it sends a signal to your mind that, yo, like, you need to go and sleep. You're tired now. Right? Or like when you're hungry, your stomach alerts your brain that, yo, you're hungry, go and eat now. But now, when your soul is out of your body and it has entered a state of consciousness, right? When you died, think about it like this: you no longer have a body at all. So you don't get tired, you don't sleep, right? You cannot get sad, right? You cannot like do the things that we are doing in the physical world. You can no longer do it. You know what I mean? So now you pick up on energies. This is why, like, even like, they can hear your thoughts when you pray. They can hear your thoughts. They can hear what you're thinking. Like, these people that have already transitioned from this world to another world, like, they are aware. They are fully aware. Believe me. They can hear your thoughts. And they are always protecting you. They are always protecting you. Believe it or not. Not like physically, so, but through, like, dropping things on your intuition. Dropping things in your spirit. And sometimes they come into your dream not as physical beings, but that's how your mind is going to interpret it. Like, because you're going to sense their energy, you're going to sense their frequency, right? You're going to sense also, your intuition is going to pick up, like, yo, like, so and so has been warning you in a dream, right? Your grandfather was warning in your dream, like, like, they're showing you things in your dream. You get what I'm saying? So, man, like, this is actually a deep topic, and it's not a lot of people that actually talk about this, because a lot of people are asleep. Like, I'm just gonna say it how it is, man. A lot of people are asleep. But this is actually so fascinating, and when I figured this out, it blew my mind. And I'm still studying, I'm still, like, diving deep into the knowledge. Like, this is actually like, a lot of you guys, you're going to watch this video and you'll be like, this is not the truth, like, you are lying, or you have your own opinions, right? But this is actually my own perspective. This is actually my own knowledge, own perspective, based on the things that I had to dive deep into and learn for myself. You know what I mean? But if there's something that I know, definitely I'm going to come back and do a part 2 of this video. What really happens after you die. But so far, after everything that I've covered in this video, man, I just hope that it awakens you. Like, go and study too. Go and dive deep into knowledge. Go and study books, things, like, because when you do that, man, like, you get awake. You get woke. But yeah, man, like, listen, I'll see you on the next video. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this video once I finally dive deep into the facts, dive deep into some wisdom, and things like that, because I'm still learning too, right? But yeah, man, probably I'll do a part 2 video of this topic. So make sure you stay tuned. Listen, if you found value from watching this video, give this video a like, man. Comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Like I always say, believe that